Guys, we need to talk about Trump and Elon because this might be the craziest news that we've had all year. Apparently, according to Elon, Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's the real reason they haven't been made public. And he just drops this out of nowhere. So, apparently, right, there was this bill that was basically a addition to the deficit, and it damaged the electric vehicles incentives. And so anyway, there's this whole timeline right now where we have basically Elon complaining about this bill, and he's just complaining, and then Trump snaps back, right? And then this whole thing goes down. It just escalates. It escalates. Let's see if it'll let me continue to look at it. At some point, Elon releases that he was in the Epstein files, and then Musk retaliates with the stopping of the SpaceX decommissioning of its Dragon, and then Musk saying Trump's tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. Guys, this is insane. This might be the craziest news we've had all year. And as Justin says it himself, check this out. Most entertaining beef since Drake and Kendrick. I couldn't have said it better. That's actually probably that's 100% facts. But guys, it actually could lead to a recession later this year. I mean, let's look at the charts. This is the perfect transition. And also, let's talk about Tesla stock because what? Look at this crazy dump that we've had today from Tesla. Like, what? That's literally just from the whole Trump-Elon thing. That's crazy. Okay. I think, yeah, we're going to transition into the market recap. Let's go ahead and do that. But, I mean, Elon might be right. If I don't know. It's kind of hard. We did just inverse the monthly, right? We did inverse this monthly for value gap. To be determined what happens. We'll see. I'm kind of thinking we might go higher off of the monthly. Anyway, lower time frame. Let's talk about what happened today, what kind of trades you could have taken, and let's jump right into it. So, starting out, the most obvious best trade, well, actually there was an even better trade that happened overnight in London, but let's start out with the one that Dodgy took today. So, Dodgy shows done for the day before I even start my live stream. Thank you, God. And it's like, it's fair. This is a good trade, right? And because the reason, even though we have this little tiny wick here, the reason this is still a good trade is because look at all of this consolidation here, and also this was Asia's lows. So we sweep Asia's lows and we get this instant V shape. And so you can go break even right at this high. Let's see if it'll let me zoom in. So the nice thing about this is you can go break even essentially right at this high, and then you can just target all the way up here, right? So this was a really nice trade, and I did mark this out. You can see that I marked it out. Where did I mark it out? Oh, this is from yesterday. Check this out. I marked this out during my backtesting session. You can see here that I don't know where it is. Never mind. I don't think I marked it out, but I have the trade here from Dodgy, right? This was a really nice trade. I talked about it in the backtesting session. Instantaneous inversion, and we run up to go to the highs. Next, let's talk about, let's see what other trades we can look at. Let's talk about the trade overnight in London that I loved, right? We had, this was, oh, sorry, that's not it. This was maybe one of my favorite trades ever. Like, actually, check out how nice this is. We have a sweep of Asia's lows, And we have SMT with it too, right? And then we have this 5-minute inversion. And so this is what I mean when I say this might be one of my favorite trades ever. Because when you see this inverse, and when you see that we have this trend line liquidity here, when do you ever see this fail? At least when do you not see us at least tap this break-even point? When you see this inverse, this is like money printer right here. We have a really, really nice trend line, like trend line up here. And you can go break even right here. You can take partials all through here. But eventually you're going to target these highs here. And when do you ever see this fail, guys? Like, we sweep Asia with SMT and get a 5-minute inversion. I don't think I've ever seen something like this fail. Just because of this giant consolidation, right? When we inverse this, I know that this is going to be rocket fuel to expand us higher. Because all these people are going to get stopped out for a loss, right? So it's just going to create a giant stop run. So one of my favorite trades of all time, if I'm being completely honest. I love that trade. Then let's continue on with the next trade. We had, let's actually jump onto the actual charts here. We had, later in the day, I was skeptical of this one, but it did end up working out. We had this 3-minute inversion, and the reason I was skeptical was because I just didn't think it made sense from a draw and liquidity point of view. But the nice thing is, this was nice. This 3-minute inversion was nice. Let me see if I can find it. Because, first of all, clear AMD, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. SMT with this low. So S&P swept out this low, and then NASDAQ just sweeps out the bodies. And then when we inverse this, stop loss goes at the low of the original candle of the old fair value gap. And boom, you can just target 1-to-1. But once again, I am being super conservative right now, and I did not take this because from a draw and liquidity point of view, it was kind of like, it was very iffy to me, so I didn't take that. But I really did like this one, the one that Dodgy took, where we inverse this. I mean, so look at this. Asia was right here. Oh, no, it was London, actually. We sweep out London, and then we inverse this. When do you ever see this fail, guys? When do you ever see this fail where you inverse, you sweep out London's lows, and then inverse the fair value gap here, and then we run up to London's highs? When does this ever fail? I mean, we'll at least hit this high, and then you can go break even here. And then we go straight up to London's highs. So I think this was a pretty sweet trade. Honestly, good chance, like, if I see this, something like this ever again, like, and I'm on the charts, I'm going to try and take it. But I like this a lot. Yeah, it's pretty likable to me. And then all throughout here, we're pretty choppy. I didn't see much within this whole area. Now, I will talk about trades other people took just because I think it's beneficial to talk about, even though I might not understand it. We're just trying to get better. We're just trying to learn. And so I will talk about a trade that Hydra took within here. Hydra, I believe this was from today. Yeah, you can see this was at 6:30. Oh, wow, this was early. Oh, maybe he was in a different time zone. Nope, this was actually right here. Wow. He was up, like, way early. Anyway, 5-minute, I think it was just a fair value gap and a breaker. I'm not entirely sure with this one. Someone let me know if you guys know what happened with this Hydra trade. But it looks like we had a fair value gap Looks like almost like a 2022 model where we probably swept some kind of high, made a fair value gap. Anyway, if you guys know what was going on with that, let me know. But then we get to here. Not sure there was much to do within here. So this is interesting because this looks pretty good. And it is pretty good. It is pretty good. Objectively, it's a pretty good inversion. But I think the reason it failed, and this is something you might want to keep an eye out for in the future, is we had this giant consolidation below. And so this consolidation, this liquidity pool, you could say, so if I measure this out, you see this is a giant liquidity pool. This liquidity pool, this is a consolidation, is a stronger draw on liquidity. I guess it was this consolidation, sorry. This consolidation was a stronger draw on liquidity than this tiny little consolidation up here. So why did we go down to here? Because there was a way bigger consolidation below than this consolidation. So even though this looks like it's AMD, it looks like it's accumulation, manipulation, right? And then distribution. It looks like we're going to inverse this and go higher. You can see this was the draw on liquidity, which was also a data low. So it's important to, and then also the other reason I didn't like this that much was because I hate taking these trades when you're descending in a downtrend. I much prefer to take trades like this once we've kind of already established the trend shift and then we get an inversion. I much prefer to take these kinds of trades. So anyway, I almost took this one. Almost took this 3-minute. But I didn't take any trades today. I was just being extra conservative with me being trying to protect my accounts right now. I'm just trying to be smart about it. So, and then let's see. Let's see what other trades I noticed. Oh, I did mark it out. Here you can see the trade from earlier that I marked out. We had the 2-minute inversion, sweep, and then right to previous week's high. So that was pretty cool. And then, yeah, I should have backtested more today, but I honestly didn't. Oh, this was nice. So this is pretty light bulb to me. We had, ignore this because it's like, I don't know, this is just extra confluence, but basically we just had SMT, we had a 30-second inversion, and then we go all the way up to run this trendline liquidity here. So this was nice. I liked that a lot. And yeah, I'm not sure what else there was, but yeah, I just wanted to make this market recap today to at least get something out there for today. I'll continue to try to make these better and better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.